But perhaps best well known was his 25 Days of Kindness initiative, which spawned all kinds of good deeds over the years. Last year, Chief Greeley used funds from the program to show love to local residents by delivering Valentine's Day gifts to more than a dozen households and taking the time to talk with those residents.
Well, that is one of the nicest things that could happen. What a great day.
I think people get a kick out of it. They might not expect it. Sometimes people are suspicious. Why is there a police car in my driveway? But I think it gives people a human contact they might not have otherwise. It just gives them a chance to say hello to somebody they might not see anybody that day or that week.
Well, that same initiative, 25 Days of Kindness, raised $25,000 this winter, allowing Holden Police to give local residents the gift of warmth by providing free heating oil. Residents were grateful for the help, with plunging temperatures and rising oil prices putting them in an especially tough spot this winter.
I realize something like this is not maybe traditionally what a police department would do, but it's a small community. It's a wonderful community. And while we have hard things and bad things we have to sometimes deal with, it's nice to be able to do something nice like this.
I just want to say thank you so much to the Holden Police Department. Really appreciate it.
Well, Holden Police Chief Chris Greeley served with multiple departments during the span of his 32-year career, ranging from the town of Vesey, the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office, and then finally the town of Holden. We are thankful for Chief Greeley's service, and our thoughts and prayers are with the Greeley family and the Holden community.
Governor Janet Mills heard the news of Chief Greeley's death and commented on his service to the state of Maine during his years in the legislature and his ability to work across the aisle.
News about Chris Greeley is devastating. He was a friend, a colleague, someone with whom I served in the legislature for 6 years, I believe, who was on a committee with me, the Criminal Justice Committee. He was a Republican. I was a Democratic member of the legislature. We always got along. And as police chief, he was outstanding.
Well, with the news of Chief Greeley's death, Senator Susan Collins also offered her thoughts in a statement saying, in part, quote, Holden Police Chief Chris Greeley was an extraordinary law enforcement official, community leader, and good friend. He constantly went above and beyond his duty to keep residents safe by coming up with a seemingly endless variety of ways to give back to those around him. Through his words as well as his actions, Chris demonstrated his devotion to others, earning him the trust and admiration of his officers and the affection of the community. His passing is a tremendous loss, not only to the Holden Police Department, but also to the entire region, end quote.
His legacy will definitely be felt for years and generations to come. Meanwhile, an elementary school student in Monroe was arrested after being found in possession of a gun on school grounds today. Members of the Waldo County Sheriff's Office say they responded to Monroe Elementary School at around 8:52 this morning after a report that a 10-year-old student had a firearm. Law enforcement personnel say they worked with the school staff to detain that student and seize the weapon. One parent shared her concerns after picking up her daughter from school.
We should have been told what was going on rather than hearing it from our kids. First message I got from my daughter was, Mom, I'm scared. They should do thorough checks. I don't think the bags should be allowed without being checked. All the other schools, they either have their bags checked or they have clear bags. It's going to be hard to get, I know, my daughter back to school because of this.
According to the sheriff's office, there were no injuries, and the student in question was placed under arrest and taken to the Waldo County Sheriff's Office. Both the sheriff's office and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms are actively investigating the incident.
A Dexter man, his son, and a woman are all charged with drug trafficking after police search a home. Maine Drug Enforcement Agency Commander Peter Arno says agents searched a residence on the Garland Road in Dexter as part of a fentanyl trafficking investigation. The investigation included several undercover purchases. 59-year-old Norman Bashaw Jr., 27-year-old Norman Bashaw III, and 30-year-old Kayla Tasker, all of Dexter, were charged with trafficking fentanyl. Bashaw III had 3 outstanding warrants for his arrest. He was found hiding in a crawl space beneath a trapdoor in the floor of the home, that according to authorities. An 18-month-old child belonging to Bashaw III and Kayla Tasker was present and has been taken into DHHS custody.
State officials are looking to help 251 workers recently furloughed by Puritan Medical Products. The furloughs came last week after the manufacturer saw a decrease in demand for its testing swabs. The Maine Department of Labor's Rapid Response Team has been providing services to affected employees through the Puritan Employee Assistance Center this week. Communication manager for the department, Jessica Picard, says the state will expand its efforts next week. In a statement, she said, quote, "We will be connecting with all workers early next week to determine additional services based on the workers' needs. Any workers statewide who are impacted by a layoff should reach out to their local career center, which can help connect them to reemployment services, training, and other information," end quote. Affected employees can also contact the Career Center by calling 207-623-7981 or visit mainecareercenter.gov.
Well, all of the $450 winter energy relief checks have now been mailed. The Maine Department of Administrative and Financial Services processed and mailed payments to more than 87,000 eligible Mainers. That beats the goal of having all of the checks in the mail before the end of the month. Governor Mills says she hopes the $450 payment will be a small measure of relief from the burden of increased energy costs this winter.
Joined by members of the Maine Supreme Judicial Court, Governor Mills swore in a new Associate Justice of the Maine Supreme Judicial Court. Justice Wayne R. Douglas took the oath in a small ceremony in the governor's cabinet room at the State House. Justice Douglas is a veteran of the Maine state court system, having served on the Maine Superior Court and Maine District Court for more than 2 decades. He's Governor Mills' 5th nomination to the Maine Supreme Judicial Court since taking office.
Well, a bill requiring snow and ice removal from vehicles is finding some support. The legislature's Transportation Committee unanimously voted to advance LD 522. The bill would require passenger vehicle operators to take measures to prevent ice and snow from coming off their vehicles while driving on Maine roadways. Violators would face a fine of $50 for their first offense. Subsequent offenses would be subject to a fine between $150 and $250. A separate bill would also require larger vehicles to clear off snow and ice as well. The bill moves to the full legislature in the coming weeks.
80 students from the Greater Dover area explored how to make positive changes in their schools during the Positive Action Team Summit. Our Matthew Jurancic attended and has the story.
After months of discussing how to promote positive school environments, students from Dexter Regional High School, Penquist Valley High School, and Setamocha Middle School came together to share ideas during the Positive Action Team Summit.
All the kids are going to work on this initiative to try to make a difference throughout the entire county. And then individually in their schools, their positive action teams work on issues within the school to try to make a difference.
Members of their respective positive action teams address problems such as substance abuse prevention, bullying, and mental health by shedding light on issues that are not often talked about in schools.
Our positive action team has sponsored events for suicide prevention or drug use and just bringing awareness to issues like that.
The positive action teams are a collaboration between local schools and Northern Light Mayo Hospital. The summit featured Maine Director of Opioid Response Gordon Smith as its keynote speaker, who shared strategies around opioid prevention and reduction as well as prescribing practices. Dexter Regional High School junior Miles Grant says being part of the summit helped him gain an understanding of issues he was unaware of.
I do feel like people are learning stuff, especially with the Narcan training. I had no clue what was really going on in that sector, but I went and now I feel more educated on it.
As the summit concluded, students say networking with their peers helped spark conversation for positive change.
In my mind, I've already been thinking of other events that we could host here or something like that I've taken from sessions and just ideas like that. Everyone's taking something from it and something positive from the event.
Matthew Jurancic reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Alrighty, well, I guess it's about that time. We take a little look outdoors and see what's coming our way weather-wise.
Absolutely.
Hey, Beth, thank you. Happy Friday. Your first weather is brought to you by Goose River Farm Meat Store. Okay, what a nice day, right? Temperatures near 40 out there today, and we have a great weekend on deck for tomorrow and Sunday, and probably Monday too, and then some changes later on next week. But overall, we'll take 40s this time of the year. Lots of clear skies out there now, or at least partly cloudy skies out there now. There were some clouds earlier today. We'll get through tonight pretty much unscathed at all. And then off to the west of us, we'll have increasing clouds tomorrow, but this will go to our south. The one behind it, though, and there is one behind it, will catch us early parts of next week. Our forecast then for tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies to mostly cloudy skies. Look for low temperatures hanging out in the 20s. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth?
Alrighty, and we'll be waiting for more detail on that a bit later.
Absolutely.
All right, well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10. We'll take you to a workshop that aims to preserve traditional Wabanaki crafts.
And we'll bring you a story on therapy dogs in Maine schools. Those stories and more after this short break.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
If you're a recent or soon-to-be college grad and not exactly sure what your new qualification will bring you, just look to the clever few. They know that Toyota could reward their hard work with an impressive $500 rebate on any new Toyota. That's right, recent and soon-to-be college grads could get a $500 rebate over and above already great Toyota financing offers. So see your New England Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Here at Black Fly Coffee Company, quality will never be compromised. No matter what type of coffee you choose, whether it's hot, iced, or frozen, you can feel confident that our products are the highest caliber. We're here to assist you with your morning cup of joe, along with your mid-afternoon pick-me-up. And while here, grab a pastry for a snack. We always have fresh pastries available from a local business right here in the area. We look forward to meeting you soon.
It's not the hats. It's not the spurs. It's not where you grew, what you chew, what you ride, what you drive. It's not how you look. It's how you live. Some say cowboys are a dying breed. We say we've never been more alive. Be badder, be bolder, be braver, be cowboy.
Charlotte FC, Atlanta United, Saturday at noon Eastern on Fox.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
Plans to build the world's tallest flagpole in a Down East town are still up in the air. The Flagpole of Freedom project was proposed for construction in Columbia Falls early last year with an estimated cost of $1 billion and a staggering height of 1,461 feet. The developers are Wreaths Across America founder Morrill Worcester and his sons. However, an attorney for the town, Agate Dixon, says they have yet to provide a concrete plan, and town officials are seeking a temporary hold on the for-profit venture until they know more.
It's not clear to us at this point whether that project is moving forward or what the status of it is. We don't know. We haven't heard from the developers in several months. The moratorium is an opportunity for the town to take some time and try to figure out how the town wants to grow into the future.
Well, the town will vote on a moratorium on March 21st to determine if there will be a pause on the flagpole project and other major developments. Dixon says a recent town survey found that nearly 80% of residents were already in favor of the postponement.
A series of Wabanaki community workshops aims to revitalize a lost form of art. On Friday, Passamaquoddy tribal member and local artist Gabriel Frey hosted a basket weaving workshop. Frey says the impacts of colonialism have caused a lot of traditional art forms within tribal communities to diminish, and the goal of the workshop is to engage tribal members, especially the youth, to rebuild those traditional tribal practices.
It's also about sharing stories, sharing culture. There's one person here who's a generation removed, who's part of that lost generation where a lot of tribal members are actually taken away from their families just for being Native. And so it's that sort of like reintroduction of kinship roles.
Frey plans to collaborate with more artists within the Wabanaki Alliance to continue the workshop series on a monthly basis. Workshops are available exclusively to tribal members.
Facing a youth mental health crisis exacerbated by the pandemic, a growing number of U.S. schools are turning to therapy dogs to help students cope with anxiety. Brad Rogers shows us 2 such dogs on the Midcoast who are improving the mental health of students just by being there.
Come, Smudgy, come. And up.
Smudge is one of 2 therapy dogs owned by Madomic Middle School principal Kate Race and her husband. Tilla is their other dog.
So the 2 dogs get split between all 7 schools. The kids specifically ask for either Tilla or Smudge.
Dr. Race is likely the first principal in Maine to bring therapy dogs into school on a daily basis. She discovered her border doodles put students and staff in a better mood. Attendance shot up and stress went down.
So it lessens anxiety just by physically touching a dog.
From the pandemic to cyberbullying and all the other pressures kids feel, study after study shows students are more anxious than ever before. Therapy dogs reduce that stress.
You can be really stressed out about a lot of stuff, and if you're focusing on the dog, then you're not focusing on that, so it's good to have a break.
It's awesome because you can just let it out to the dogs and they got nothing to say.
And when you're having a rough day, you can go and you can hang out with the dogs.
If you're failing in a grade or something like that, or if you have something going on in your home life, the dog, you can go up to Tilla and hug her.
Therapy dogs are relatively new in Maine schools across the country, though thousands of schools are using therapy dogs like Smudge here to help students cope with stress, manage their emotions, or comfort them in a crisis. Madomic Middle School even has a program that teaches students coping mechanisms.
The therapy dogs have been great for this because sometimes they get really stressed out. And it's nice that I can have Smudge or Tilla just wander into the room and the whole mood changes instantly.
Tilla spent her day bringing smiles to grade school students at Miller School.
Shake.
She knows a few tricks.
Sit up.
She also teaches a few tricks.
She actually comes and helps me calm down a lot. It's actually kind of fun to hang out with Tilla because she's nice.
April Tolman says she and her friends aren't always as nice.
We like to fight a lot.
You and your friends? Yeah. How does Tilla help things out?
She kind of calms me down.
She is a huge support system for mental health. And just when children are having a day, whether it's anxiety, depression, or just I'm having a bad day, she's there for them.
It's surprising more schools don't have therapy dogs.
I totally agree. I would not have it any other way.
Oh, man.
And that was Brad Rogers reporting, and I absolutely loved the sight of him just full-on baby cradling that dog.
Seriously,
so great.
That dog was in heaven too, just don't put me down. But such a great initiative, and I love to see these dogs in schools, and you can just tell by listening to the students how much of an impact they're having on their daily lives.
Well, we hear more and more and more about the increasing scope of the mental health crisis among America's youth, especially teenagers. And so it really does make sense to employ therapy dogs in schools. It's just a different environment than when I went to school, and probably you as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, hope to see more of that.
All right.
Well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, the search for the origin of COVID-19 has become a bipartisan effort. We'll have the latest from Capitol Hill.
And we'll also have developments from the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine. Those stories and more when the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 comes right back.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Are you ready? When the forecast calls for nasty weather, all roads lead to down east. With Toyota's impressive lineup of 15 all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles, you're sure to find a model and payment that's right for you. Don't see it on our lot? Here's the latest update on models arriving soon. Pre-order yours now for the fastest delivery. When main roads get messy, all roads lead to down east. Your four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive headquarters on Wilson Street in Brewer.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years.
Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 974-7815.
CEM DP Porter Contractors has been in business for over 40 years in the Bangor area. We specialize in design build for commercial, medical, and residential. We can assist our customers with anything from lot procurement to helping find financing for your project, along with building maintenance and renovations. CEM DP Porter Contractors is currently hiring a Herman for multiple positions, including carpenters and laborers. We offer vacation, holidays, a 3% IRA match, and competitive pay. If interested in applying, please contact Jason at 207-848-7486.
The Lumineers 2023 Tour. August 16th, Maine Savings Amphitheater, Bangor, Maine. With special guest, James Bay. On sale now. Buy tickets at Ticketmaster.com. The Lumineers. Check out their latest album, Brightside, available everywhere.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
The search for the origins of the coronavirus is becoming more of a bipartisan effort. House Democrats joining Republicans to unanimously call for the declassification of documents concerning that subject. Fox's Aisha Hasni is on Capitol Hill with more.
A landmark vote.
The yeas are 419 and the nays are 0.
This should be an easy vote because this is just about science.
All voting members saying yes to Republican Senator Josh Hawley's bill requiring the Director of National Intelligence to declassify information related to the origins of COVID. A dramatic departure from 2021 when House Democrats wouldn't even bring Hawley's bill to the floor, and when then Coronavirus Committee Chairman Jim Clyburn rejected Republican calls for an investigation into the origins, leaving it to the Biden administration, concerned the GOP was trying to deflect accountability for the Trump administration's failed response to the crisis. The White House staying vague on whether the president will sign it.
We're taking a look at the bill. He understands how important it is to get to the bottom of COVID origins.
Despite Biden's own FBI and Department of Energy concluding the lab leak is the likely origin. Republicans whose cries fell on deaf ears for years feeling vindicated.
We had red flags from COVID's origins from day one. If it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Folks, this screams like a duck.
While the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee hoping it'll end the mudslinging against government officials like Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Behind the discussion of ducks were some pretty aggressive accusations, which is what I think what we're all trying to avoid here.
And Senator Hawley says that the Chinese embassy actually tried to convince him to abandon his bill. So in response, he wrote to President Xi calling on him to come clean as the intelligence community continues to complain about the lack of cooperation from China, leading them to be divided over the origins of COVID. On Capitol Hill, I'm Aisha Hasni, Fox News.
A series of fentanyl busts across the country this week have raised questions about the deadly substance's source. Fox's Bill Malugin has that story.
A series of new, enormous fentanyl busts taking place all over the United States this week. In Los Angeles, the DEA seized 1 million fentanyl pills in a car belonging to 3 Mexican nationals looking to sell, all of whom are suspected of being associated with the Sinaloa cartel. And in Nogales, Arizona, CBP officers at the port of entry seized 560,000 fentanyl pills smuggled in vehicles coming from Mexico in just a 2-day span. At this single port of entry, CBP has already seized more than 20 million fentanyl pills just since October. These new busts come as Mexico's president is raising eyebrows with a claim that his country isn't the source of fentanyl pouring into the U.S. and that the opioid is an American issue. He says in part, quote, "Here we do not produce fentanyl, and we do not have the consumption of fentanyl. Why don't they, the United States, take care of their problem of social decay?" However, it is well-established fact that fentanyl is mass-produced by cartels in Mexico using chemical precursors imported from China. And some U.S. lawmakers say Lopez Obrador's claims are detached from reality.
AMLO works for the cartels at this point. That seems pretty clear. He's more interested in representing the cartels than the Mexican people. It's all produced in Mexico. The precursors come from China. AMLO lets that happen. He lets his cartels operate with impunity.
And just 3 weeks ago in Sinaloa, the Mexican military announced making what they describe as the biggest fentanyl lab bust on record. And at the time, the president of Mexico highlighted that bust in a press conference, pointing out that the lab was worth $80 million. So to hear him now claim that no, fentanyl is not produced in Mexico is a bit of a head scratcher. Reporting in Brownsville, Texas, Bill Malugin, Fox News.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces are mounting a swift and defiant response following a massive attack by Russia on Thursday. Russian fighters launched dozens of rockets, killing several people and causing major damage to critical infrastructure. Fox's Steve Harrigan has the story from Kyiv.
Ukraine responding to the latest attacks by Russia. Soldiers taking aim at enemy positions as Russian forces continue advancement efforts on the eastern city of Bakhmut. Following 7 months of brutal fighting, Moscow is trying to secure their first major victory in months. But Ukrainian soldiers are vowing to stay and fight.
The enemy is advancing every minute, every second, on every sector of the front line, and our artillery support is very important for everyone.
This a day after Russia inflicted its largest assault against Ukraine since the war began. Putin's troops unleashing a devastating barrage of missiles and drones on critical infrastructure, including power stations across the country, as far west as Lviv, plunging hundreds of thousands into darkness.
They are destroying our city, destroying. Every day there is shelling, every day, evening, morning, all the time.
By Friday, most of the power and water were restored in the capital, Kyiv, and the Kharkiv and southern Zaporizhia regions. Roughly a third of the population is still without heat. Meanwhile, President Biden holding a meeting with European Union President at the White House Friday. The leaders discussing the best ways to support Ukraine and impose costs on Russia for its aggression.
We stood with the brave people of Ukraine, providing security assistance and implementing historic sanctions that cut off Putin's ability to fund and to fight his war in Ukraine.
White House officials say more economic sanctions against Russia could be on the table. In Kyiv, Steve Harrigan, Fox News.
And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, the brutal weather Americans are seeing on the West Coast won't be letting up anytime soon.
And in sports, PBR is back at the Cross Insurance Center for another year. Ryan Sudol got to talk with one of the riders of this year's show. We'll have that and more after this.
This is where legends are made. This is the NHRA. NHRA Gator Nationals, Sunday at noon Eastern on Fox.
It would appear that the butler did it. But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on Rogue.
Catch these offers while you can.
Maine Commercial Solar offers a variety of services including solar systems design, sales, maintenance, and installation. Maine Commercial Solar can help you with existing or new systems. We offer packages for installation by others, or we can help you build your own solar array, smaller residential, or anything in between. Maine Commercial Solar is currently hiring in Herman for multiple positions. We offer competitive pay, a 3% IRA match, vacation, holiday time, and a family-oriented environment. If interested, please call Jason at 848-7486.
We're lucky to live in Maine. We have a wealth of natural resources, hardworking people, and time for the things that matter. Mechanical Services is all about Maine, with energy efficiency that protects our environment and helps businesses grow. Preventive maintenance and energy solutions that save money. How Maine is that? Mechanical Services. We're everywhere you are in Maine.
Realtors at Morrison & Company with Next Home Experience have been serving satisfied clients since 2016. With more than $25 million in sales for 2022 alone, we hold the expertise to get you from under contract to closing during this very personal experience. Our modern and hands-on approach will get you where you want to be, faster and with less hassle. Call us today for your real estate options.
Dad, not another showing.
There are so many fun things to do in Maine. Now you can enjoy more for less. Check out Half Off Fun from foxbangor.com.
Welcome to your family fun entertainment center, Movie Rocket Entertainment Galaxy. Movie Rocket has newly renovated cinemas, and the Starcade features all the best video and arcade games around. Movie Rocket, 268 Odland Road in Bangor, and at movierocketbangor.com.
There's a limited supply available. It's on sale right now. Save with Half Off Fun from foxbangor.com.
It would appear that the butler did it. But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on Rogue.
Catch these offers while you can.
Well, the country's 16th largest bank, a prominent lender for tech startups, failed on Friday, raising concerns that other banks could face similar problems. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports on the collapse and how economic experts are reacting.
Stocks plunged after Silicon Valley Bank closed in what's now the second biggest bank collapse in the country's history. The FDIC stepped in to take control Friday morning.
It's a big job for a $200 billion bank, but the FDIC has been doing this for a long time, so I'm sure it'll go smoothly.
For 40 years, Silicon Valley Bank was a go-to for startups. But as clients took out money to stay afloat amid rising interest rates and costs, the bank found itself short on capital.
They've honestly been a really great bank. I'm shocked that this is happening.
I blame the board and I blame the management that this bank is a zero.
Silicon Valley's bank evoked memories of the 2008 financial crisis. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says she is closely tracking the situation. However, economists say a similar domino effect within the banking industry is unlikely, thanks to changes in the sector.
For example, they have to hold more capital. They undergo stress tests.
Still, some of Silicon Valley's bank's clients may not be out of the woods just yet.
I think that it'll be bad, especially for other startups that might be raising money right now. Fortunately, we're not doing that, but a lot of the venture capital funds also bank here, so it's not just the companies.
Depositors with less than $250,000 will ultimately get all their money back, the maximum covered by FDIC insurance. The FDIC says customers will be able to access their insured funds by Monday. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
New data out on Friday shows the economy added 311,000 new jobs in February. It means the Federal Reserve could soon be moving forward with another rate hike. This comes as Republican lawmakers are ripping into the president's budget. Fox's Caroline Shively has more from Washington.
President Biden celebrating a stronger than expected jobs report Friday.
I'm happy to report that our economy has created over 300,000 new jobs last month.
Paychecks also grew by 0.2%, slightly lower than January's rate. The growth is making workers happy, the Fed worried, and Wall Street nervous. More jobs and growing wages can contribute to inflation, putting pressure on the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates, the last thing Wall Street wants.
I feel that the Fed will have to raise rates at least by 50 basis points next time around, and have to push the Fed funds rates to at least 6%.
The news comes a day after President Biden released his budget proposal. His plan adds $2.6 trillion in new spending over 10 years and brings in $5.5 trillion in revenue paid for by tax hikes on corporations and the wealthy. But first, it has to make it through the House.
President Biden, your budget is dead on arrival.
The House Freedom Caucus, composed of fiscal conservatives, pledged that members won't vote to raise the debt ceiling without $130 billion in spending cuts.
It is the baseline of shrinking Washington and not just growing America, but doggone it, saving America.
If the debt ceiling isn't raised by this summer, the country will default on its debt.
A default on our debt would trigger an economic and financial catastrophe.
The next economic indicator to watch, the Consumer Price Index, out next week. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Well, rain and gusty winds knocked out power to thousands of people in California. It's all part of an atmospheric river pummeling the state through Saturday. Fox's Anna Eliopoulos has more.
There's little relief for millions of people in California as another storm slammed into the state on Friday.
I woke up and seen that it was going to rain, so I definitely came prepared.
An atmospheric river stirred up gusty winds and thunderstorms, prompting widespread evacuations.
I was up all night watching the gauge. We watched the river gauge collectively as a neighborhood. It came into some of the grove. The mud has been dispersed again.
In Oakland, heavy rain impacted drivers as it turned some streets into rivers. The conditions prompting rescue crews to remain on standby.
The first impacts are typically in the areas of the rivers or the creeks that are higher on the hill. And so those will start to flood. We are mobile to redeploy to different areas to address those issues.
More than 24 counties are under a state of emergency. But after back-to-back storms, forecasters say mountain communities still face the biggest flood threat. A combination of warm air and heavy rain could melt several feet of snowpack. With the ground already saturated, some locals fear this could weaken trees and power lines.
Basically, everyone in the community should have a generator here at this point.
Officials are concerned the state's reservoirs could begin to overflow, with another round of rain threatening to hit California next week. In Sacramento, water releases were underway to create more room. On Friday, President Biden approved an emergency declaration to help with recovery efforts. Anna Eliopoulos, Fox News.
So quite a bit going on there. A little, anxious just watching, looking at that footage.
Seriously, yes,
Yeah.
so much flooding in those areas, and so a lot to deal with for those people, and hoping that everyone is taking measures to stay safe.
You have to assume their emergency management services are just stretched so thin right now. First all of that snow, and now this. Just a lot going on.
Yeah, well, in terms of what's coming our way weather-wise, we'll have your full forecast coming up.
Mostly 40s out there today. They'll be back tomorrow and Sunday and Monday, but then some changes get in here on Tuesday and Wednesday with some more rain and snow. Those details for you when I come back.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
Van Sickle Kia is Northern Maine's first choice for pre-owned vehicles. We have a great selection of quality pre-owned vehicles with payments and prices for every budget. Shop your favorite brands like Kia, Ford, Jeep, Toyota, Honda, Subaru, Volvo, and more, all serviced, state inspected, starting at just $99.99 with payments just $239 a month, only at Van Sickle Kia.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee you.
With AAA Insurance, by bundling our home and auto policies, we saved over $450.
And we were shocked at the savings.
When we switched to AAA auto insurance and bundled our policies, we were able to save over $400 every year.
Switch to AAA Insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
Well, my passion is hang gliding. I've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's like flying. I mean, it's like everything you always dreamed about. AAA Insurance helps us save more.
And do more.
The savings from AAA Insurance has allowed me to pursue my passion of making jewelry. It's great to have a little bit of extra cash to do something that you love.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA Insurance, call 866-460-1291 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
The NASCAR Cup Series fires into Phoenix, where the best of the best look to rise again. Sunday at 3 Eastern on Fox.
Here we go. Your full weather is brought to you by Varney Ford, the nice car and truck people. And a friendly reminder, our clocks go forward this weekend, late Saturday into Sunday morning, as we do that every year, of course, around here. And here we go. Temperatures today hanging out near 40. That's not normal. The average high is still in the 30s this time of the year, but we're going to do 40s, not just today, but for tomorrow, also for probably Sunday into Monday, and then some changes getting in here through the middle portions of next week. Okay, so out there today, there's, there's cold air just to our north. It's going to stay there for now. For us, we're going to hang out kind of in between with that moderated air across the country. That's going to give us those 40-degree temperatures for the weekend and beyond. A very nice weekend is on deck for us. We haven't had one of those for a long time around here, as you know. So we're going to melt some snow, though, and there's lots of snow around the area. So look for some gigantic puddles across our region, not just for the day tomorrow, but also for Sunday into Monday with those warmer temperatures around 40. All right, so the wind is not a factor, and I don't say that very often around here, as you know. Right now it's out of the north around 0 in Bangor, 3 in Millinocket, so you get the idea. Hardly any wind out there tonight. This will be increasing a bit tomorrow, though, as a front begins to kind of enter the picture. Looking outside today, though, we had lots of clouds earlier today, and then the sun came out a bit. Now there are some low clouds in here and a little bit of dense fog around. We'll keep things partly cloudy across the area tonight, and then attention turns toward the west, and there's a system here, and you're thinking, uh-oh, we're in trouble. This is coming our way. Well, no, this will stay to our south, right? The trajectory here will take it across the Boston, New York area and leave us alone, except for some cloud cover across our region tomorrow. But there's another one behind it, and that one will likely be in our neck of the woods, probably Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. So walking you through Futurecast. So out there for tonight, look for partly cloudy skies. This is overdoing the cloud cover just a bit, just so you know. Off and on throughout the day tomorrow, again, partly cloudy skies. Lots of breaks in the clouds tomorrow. Here's 9:30 or so, looking at partly cloudy skies. And then throughout the day, again, partly cloudy into tomorrow night. And then probably some increasing clouds late tomorrow night. Sunday looks more cloudy to me across our region before it begins to clear out just a bit Sunday evening ahead of our next weather system gets in here early parts of next week. Our forecast then for tonight, though, is lots of clouds out there, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. Look for low temperatures down near 24. So whatever is wet today or kind of melted is going to refreeze tonight. Look for slippery spots by early tomorrow morning and a north breeze around 5. For tomorrow, okay, we'll take it. Lots of clouds, breezy too, or increasingly breezy. Look for a north breeze around 10 and high temperatures up near 40 again. That's going to feel very nice. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows 44 on Sunday, 43 Monday, then late Monday into Tuesday, a rain-snow mixture gets in here Tuesday into Wednesday. That could be some locally heavy rain and snowfall across the area. Beth?
Alrighty, well, at least nice to see we're staring down a good weekend.
Yeah.
A little bit of precip on the way next week, though.
Yeah, we'll deal with next week when we get there.
I heard that.
All right, well, sports is coming up next, so stay with us.
How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home, chances are you have a lot of questions. Norm Prouty has answers. Learn some tips and tricks and explore some beautiful new homes on the market. The Norm Prouty and Donnell Baker Real Estate Show, Sunday mornings at 8:30 on Fox 22.
So with a Planet Fitness Black Card, I'll get a post-workout glow like that guy.
Everybody knows that you need to glow.
And I get a free Amazon Halo to track my fitness and sleep.
Sign up for the PF Black Card for $1 down, $24.99 a month, and get a free Amazon Halo View. Ends March 15th.
Does your vehicle need a little more work? Have an odd sound coming from somewhere? Bring it over to Jackson's Automotive in Old Town. We have the best technicians and offer a fair price. We also accept all aftermarket protection plans. Now, if you're unable to drive your vehicle to us, we can help you get it here. Also, if you'd like to protect your vehicle for years to come, we offer Wool Wax undercarriage protection. We're located at 546 Main Street in Old Town. Give us a call at 827-2676. Tonight's sports is brought to you by Taylor Events and Equipment Rental, 1179 Hammond Street in Bangor.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. We start tonight with huge basketball news. In Bangor, on the eve of tomorrow's McDonald's All-Star Games at Husson, the state's finest senior hoopers were honored. At the annual McDonald's Senior All-Star Banquet, many awards were handed out, including all academic and foul shooting awards. But the king and the queen were Mr. and Miss Maine Basketball 2023. Starting with Miss Maine, that title goes to Gardner's Lizzie Gruber. Gruber, a St. Joe's commit, averaged 21 points and 16 rebounds this season en route to a berth in the Class A regional final. Gruber says that knowing she's a member of a select club makes the moment extra special.
It's something super special that not a lot of people get to experience, and just to be up there, standing next to two of my favorite people in the world, just means so much because it just doesn't happen to many people. So it's just really special.
For Mr. Maine, Will Davies of Thornton Academy took home the crown. He averaged 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists in his senior season as he led his squad to the AA South Final. Davies is honored to be in the same category as his fellow nominees, like Brewers' Brady Saunders, but it's even better knowing that Mr. Maine basketball is now a family affair with his father, Bob.
It's amazing. It's a little extra special because I'm pretty sure me and my father are the first ever father-son duo to ever win it. It's a complete honor, and the players that are all here are just phenomenal, and it's awesome just to be here.
Okay, let's stick with some basketball now. Which country is still reveling in their first boys hoops gold ball in school history? If you don't believe it, check out this event yesterday at the high school. Brewer held a full-fledged meet and greet yesterday afternoon, complete with photo ops with the gold ball and autograph signings. Just look at that line. All the players and coaches were there for the event to see all of their biggest fans, most of which were younger kids. Senior Brock Flagg, for one, says that is the biggest honor that there is.
I mean, it means everything. We were down in the middle school today walking around with the gold ball, and I was telling all the teachers, I hope it means as much to these kids as it means to me. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I was tearing up a little bit on the back of the bus after we came back from that middle school. To see all those kids just be in tears and knew I meant something to them, that's all you can ask for.
But no matter how big or small the fans that came to see them Thursday are, or those that supported them the entire season, senior Ryder Goodwin says that it all embodies the amazing family that is the city of Brewer. It also shows how dedicated their fans are, especially when it comes to those autographs.
It's community, it says it on the back of our shirts when we went out to play in the tournament, and it's a huge thing for us. We play for the community and we play for each other, and it really shows the support that we have. They signed foreheads, shoes, arms. It was crazy. Everybody was asking for everything they could possibly get.
Once again, congratulations to Brewer. We close tonight with something a little bit different. PBR's Velocity Tour is here in Bangor at the Cross Center this weekend. And earlier tonight on the ABC 7 6 o'clock news, I had a chance to talk with Grayson Cole, one of the tour's top stars. Take a look. Tonight, Saturday and Sunday, PBR's Velocity Tour is making a stop right here in Bangor. And one of the premier riders on this tour is with me right now, Mr. Grayson Cole. Grayson, thank you so much for coming on. Now, talk about what the Velocity Tour is. You got the regular PBR Tour and then you got the Velocity. Tell me what that is.
So the Velocity is an expansion of the PBR, so they give a chance for guys just coming out, guys that just turned 18 to kind of get their name in the drawing to get up to the upper tour.
And you have been bull riding since you were 7 years old, correct?
Yes, sir.
How do you get into that?
My parents took me to rodeos when I was a kid, and then ever since I was 3, I wanted to ride bulls. So then I got in touch with some friends that I knew rode bulls and asked them where to go, and we went to a local practice pen, and it's history from there.
But you didn't start with bulls. You started with sheep?
Started with sheep when I was younger, and then worked up to calves, steers, junior bulls, and then big bulls.
Now, speaking of those bulls, now a lot of people out here may not be familiar with bull riding, the sport. Talk about the scoring system for these bulls.
So the bulls are scored just like us in every ride. So the bulls get a score to 1 to 50, and then the riders get a score to 1 to 50. Total possibility of 100.
What's the highest you've gotten on this tour in terms of a score on a ride?
I've been 88.5 and 89 on this tour so far.
And just talk about what else this event is going to offer for the folks here in Bangor. A line is already out the door to get in here.
Yeah, this is a good big event. A lot of guys like to come up to this one since it's 3 days, but the crowd is always really good. We do a very good production. Everything's family friendly. It's a good time. It's a big party.
And what a party it was. That's all the time we have for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be right back after the break.
Tonight's Stock Report is brought to you by Triple S Tax Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel. Come stop by for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
Come stop by Triple S Tax Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
If you're waiting for a sign that it's time to finally tackle that window project, here it is. Renewal by Anderson's incredible window replacement days. Get all the benefits of Renewal by Anderson's exclusive and easy replacement window process. And save a lot of money while you're at it. An immediate design consultation, exclusive Fibrix composite material windows, and precise installation by highly trained certified master installers. You get it all during Renewal by Anderson's window replacement days. Call Renewal by Anderson today and take advantage of this limited time offer and special financing.
Are you looking to have some fun, including soaring on Skyrider, the ultimate indoor zip line? Well, come over to Urban Air, Bangor's #1 birthday party destination, located at the Airport Mall. Urban Air has gravity-defying attractions for all ages, including our Warrior Course, trampolines, enormous arcade section, and climbing walls. Call us today to schedule your birthday party. And don't forget, we have endless play memberships available as well. Urban Air, let them fly.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get up and get into Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight, including Ford F-150 and the all-new Ford Super Duty. Or check out Ford Maverick and Ford Ranger. So get into Ford Truck Month and see what a built Ford tough truck can do for you, where there's a great selection in stock. Now, make no payments for 90 days and get 3.9% financing for 60 months plus $1,000 cash on select F-150 models.
When you've experienced fire and smoke damage in your home, when pipes break and you have water everywhere, when you're concerned about your family's health because of mold, you need a friendly face to take care of it all. You need the friendly faces of Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. We're just a click or call away. Whatever life throws at you, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration is here for you. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories. We'll handle the rest.
Buck is in critical condition and a medically induced coma.
He's not breathing!
911, all new this Monday on Fox.
A new Taylor Swift college course, Showtime, shares an extended look at Yellow Jackets Season 2 and more. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with the latest from the Hollywood Nation.
She's hiding something. A wild Season 2 for Yellow Jackets. Lawrence adds a new job, and Swift gets added to another curriculum in the Hollywood Nation. Students at California's Stanford University will be able to take a class on Taylor Swift. The elite college will offer a course called All Too Well 10-week version during the upcoming winter quarter. It will give an in-depth analysis of the lyrics to Swift's hit song. This is not the first time the singer has been studied. The Clive Davis Institute at New York University launched a brand new course on the singer in February 2022, and the Taylor Swift Songbook course was added at the University of Texas later that year.
This isn't the way to my house.
Jennifer Lawrence answers a Craigslist ad in today's First Looks. Sony Pictures released the trailer to the comedy No Hard Feelings. Lawrence plays a down-on-her-luck woman hired by a rich couple to date their socially awkward 19-year-old son before he leaves for college. The film arrives in theaters June 23rd.
Your husband is not who you think he is.
Jennifer Garner searches for the truth in the Apple TV Plus limited series, The Last Thing He Told Me. She plays a woman who forges a bond with her stepdaughter to find out what really happened to her missing husband. It premieres April 14th.
I'm losing my mind.
And a wild trip back to the wilderness is in store. Showtime gives an extended look at season 2 of Yellow Jackets. This chapter picks up 2 months after the events of season 1. The trailer introduces more characters and hints at more threats the group will face. The drama returns March 26th. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, it's been said that not all heroes wear capes. Sometimes they wear National Guard uniforms. Earlier this week, soldiers took to the skies to help out some hungry cattle that were stranded by severe storms in California. Newly released video shows the soldiers throwing the much-needed supplies overboard. Heavy rain and thunderstorms brought flood threats and disrupted travel. Flood advisories or warnings are in effect Friday for areas around the San Francisco Bay, the Central Coast, and the Sacramento and San Joaquin valleys. So at least they're getting what they need. The animals are anyway.
Some great video there. Well, Special Olympians from Knox and Waldo counties came together in Belfast for a swim meet. The competition was fierce, but this was much more than just swimming for a ribbon. The Olympians were having a lot of fun, too, and no matter if you were in the water doing your best freestyle or cheering on the swimmers, you would have to agree the event was a great chance for these Special Olympians to show off their best.
Just seeing everybody be so happy, so positive, and so excited to just be here and compete and have fun, it's just absolutely incredible.
There were just so many people cheering, and it just was awesome.
If you ever do try swimming competitively, just try your hardest and good luck.
Love that spirit, and parents and people from all over came out to cheer on the swimmers. There were also members of law enforcement on hand to make sure all the competitors knew just how great they are, and love to see the community support there for an event like that.
Yeah, swimming is such a great, healthy activity anyway,
Yes.
so it's neat to see that they get to partake of that.
Yeah.
And then to see all the support is just fantastic.
It's really phenomenal.
Alrighty, well that is going to do it for us, folks, from everybody here at Fox 22. Good night.
Have a good night, everyone.